Entering Sedis Fodor feels like being welcomed into a living painting, like living in a small town. Nestled at the end of a long, winding fjord, it is a splash of color against the backdrop of the dark, majestic basalt mountains. At first glance, it may seem like a simple fishing village, but what you see is something suspended in time. Wooden houses, painted in vibrant shades of blue, red, and white, cling to the mountainside as if afraid that the mountains will swallow them up and erase them. And in the center, the iconic blue church, humble and graceful, reflects its image in the mirror-like water. A scene so peaceful it is almost surreal. But beneath the silence, there is a murmur, an invisible vibration. The mountains surrounding Sedis Fodor seem to hold their breath, as if waiting for something ancient to awaken. Local legend has it that on nights when the mist is thick and rolling down from the mountains, you can hear a faint echo, the deep ringing song of spirits below the fjord. Some believe it is the sound of time itself, winding back moments from centuries past, overlapping with the present. Sedis Fodor is more than just a destination. It is the starting point for a journey of landscape exploration and where the epic story really begins. Hangarapos is more than just a waterfall. It is a living, breathing geological textbook. This majestic waterfall drops an astonishing 128 meters, but the real magic lies in the surrounding cliffs. They are a brilliant tapestry of fiery red clay layers, contrasting starkly with the dark, somber basalt, like pages of history written in fire and ice. Each individual layer represents an era, a volcanic eruption, a violent storm buried under millions of years of ice. In winter, you don't just hear the roar of the water. You feel the fierce chill of volcanic fury, frozen into quiet beauty, the dynamic flow of water, carving its story into the immovable rock. Hangarapos doesn't show you beauty in the conventional sense. It shows you the truth that even the most violent moments of creation eventually crystallize into beauty. If ever there was a place that defied logic, it was Studlagil Gorge, a rock cathedral that nature had hidden for centuries. Studlagil is a giant corridor made of thousands of perfectly hexagonal basalt columns. They are stacked like a giant's pipe organ created by the hands of nature itself. The turquoise river flows through it, brilliant emerald green in the summer sun, turning murky and fierce when the snow melts in spring. The gorge feels alive, breathing, moving, resisting. A wound in the landscape that has become a window to perfection. From the emerald embrace of a once hidden gorge, we now travel to a coastal land where darkness and grandeur meet. On the far eastern edge of Iceland, where land gives way to sea, stands Vestrahorn, a jagged fortress of black rock, sharp as the teeth of a sleeping dragon. The jagged peaks and rugged ridges, made of dark gabbro and granite, rise straight from the Atlantic, cutting across the sky, exuding an ancient, almost primal quality. In stark contrast to the stark coolness of the mountain, the long black sand beach of Stocksness is laid back, sharply defined, dotted with unique, vibrant clumps of green grass clinging to the dunes like stepping into a painting that refuses to stand still. The light here is strangely variable. At dawn, the first rays of sunlight illuminate the mountain peaks in bronze and gold, while the sand reflects them back in liquid silver. As dusk falls, the landscape reverses, the shadows deepen. The sea glows faintly, and the entire landscape seems to hum with a quiet power. It's no wonder filmmakers are drawn here. Game of Thrones, The Batman, and countless commercials have tried to capture the impossible drama of this place, though none have actually done so. Local legends say that Vestrahorn and its quieter twin Vestrahorn, a lesser-known neighboring mountain of equally wild, silent beauty, with ridges that catch the first rays of dawn, silently guard the secrets of this mystical land. For a moment, as the boat approaches Grimsey, the horizon seems larger than the world. The small, flat, windswept island seems as if nothing here moves fast, but everything is alive. This is the only piece of Iceland outside the Arctic Circle. You can step across an invisible boundary and enter a new latitude, a new rhythm of light. The cliffs hum with life. Millions of seabirds turn the air into a living cloud. Puffins with bright orange beaks, sables, glide in the wind. Their cries echo across the cliffs, creating a city of wings and sound. On the northern edge of the island is the Arctic Circle Monument, a steel sphere that shifts a few meters every year following the slow drift of the Earth's axis. Standing there, the wind whipping through your jacket, you realize you're touching something cosmic, the shifting boundaries between light and dark, summer and winter, the known and the unknown. This is where the map ends and the world begins. Arctic Henge is a pyramid of light in the cold wind of Raufahöfen, the northernmost point of Iceland. The basalt gates are aligned with the sun's axis, forming a giant compass in dialogue with the midnight sun and the northern sunset. As the sun moves low over the horizon, the shadows of the stone pillars move like clock hands on the ground, recording the breath of time with light. In summer, the entire area is surrounded by purple lupin fields, stretching all the way to the sea. The cool purple of the flowers blends with the cold grey of the rocks and the pale yellow of the northern sun, creating a vague picture between reality and fantasy. When night falls, the stone arches are like ancient doors to welcome the aurora through the blue light, winding in the cold wind. The roughness of the basalt contrasts with the softness of the purple flowers, and light making Arctic Henge look both primitive and sacred, as if humans had built this place not to conquer the universe, but to learn to listen to it. If you're looking for wildlife, Husvi is your pilgrimage. Brightly painted houses line the harbor, their reflections shimmering in the icy blue water. Fishing boats rock gently, but they're not looking for fish, but for giant creatures. This small coastal town has become Iceland's whale-watching capital, and once you see the first wisps of mist rising from the water, you'll understand why. In Skjolfandi Bay, the ocean is alive with movement. Humpback whales swim in slow, graceful arcs. Minke whales roll just below the surface, their backs glistening like whetstones. Sometimes you see a mother and her calf swimming side by side, disappearing together into the depths. In seconds, everything, wind, water, thoughts, was silent. It was as if the earth itself stopped to watch. Brace yourself, because Detafos is more than just a spectacle. It's a primal, all-encompassing experience of raw natural power. Europe's most majestic waterfall doesn't whisper. It roars, tumbling down a 45-meter-high cliff, spanning nearly 100 meters, and the ground shakes under its weight. The water is thick with glacial sediment, turning it an eerie, murky grey as the earth itself liquefies before your eyes. Described as the Niagara of Europe, Detafos is an immersive encounter with the ferocity of nature. It's humbling, almost unsettling. You find yourself standing at the intersection of the past and the future, where fire, ice, and water constantly rewrite the story of the world. The road into Miatan feels like stepping into another world, a landscape suspended between creation and collapse. Steam rises from the ground in wispy silver strands, the air smells faintly of sulfur, and the horizon shimmers with mirages born of heat and ice. The lake itself stretches like a glass mirror, dotted with small islands and strange conical mounds, the pseudo-craters of Studlagil. These are not real volcanoes, but scars left by ancient molten lava meeting water and exploding into clouds of steam. The result looks almost artificial, as if a sculptor had carved hundreds of perfect craters into the surface of the earth. To the north, Krafla smolders. Its caldera stretches for kilometers, its rim painted in volcanic black and red ochre. At its center is Viti, a crater lake so brilliant turquoise it seems unreal against the barren, rust-colored rock. Standing at the edge, you sense a quiet tension, beauty balanced on the brink of destruction. Then there's Namafshul, where the planet visibly breathes. The ground bubbles, froths, and hisses. Mud puddles churn like living creatures. Fumaroles spew white smoke that dances in the wind. Every color of the spectrum seems to emerge from the Earth. Orange, yellow, bronze, gray, as if the Earth itself is bleeding art. Few places on the planet feel so close to the core. You don't just see geothermal energy, you can still hear it, smell it, feel it. Prepare yourself for a sight that is both natural and deeply human. The Skjaldfjallafljót River suddenly narrows, then falls down a wide crescent-shaped cliff, and right there, Detafos appears. The vast, graceful horseshoe shape, with its pristine turquoise water plunging 12 meters, is truly captivating. The sheer elegance of the waterfall's shape is only matched by the brilliant colors of its flow and its undeniable majesty. When the sun breaks through the clouds, Detafos is often draped in brilliant rainbow hues, adding an ethereal, almost magical touch to the already stunning scene. You will want to linger here, letting the beauty envelop you. The sound of Detafos is powerful but not violent. It is a conversation between past and present, faith and doubt, surrender and strength. It is the sound of a land that has learned to evolve without erasing its history. Few places in Iceland feel as wild as the Westfjords. The mountains drop into the sea like the edge of a broken world, and the wind carries a voice that sounds older than language. This is a realm of cliffs and clouds where the horizon closes and the boundary between land and water fades into mist. The Westfjords are also a realm of birds, the true inhabitants of this wild frontier. The fulmar traces invisible paths in the air and nests on the rugged rocks. The Arctic tern is light and elegant in every movement. They rule the sky, and the flapping of their wings fills a void that humans can never reach. There are moments when the silence between their cries feels sacred, a reminder that isolation can be a form of grace. The Vestfjords do not welcome you. They test your resolve to stay. Every path feels temporary. Every turn reveals another world of stone and darkness. Following the curves of the mountains, a shimmering white light appears in the distance. Not cloud, not mist, but movement frozen in the light. Dingjandi is like a secret unfolding layer by layer. From a distance, it looks delicate, a cascade of silver threads cascading down the mountainside, fragile and leisurely. Up close, it roars with the call of Mother Earth. The waterfall cascades down nearly 100 meters in a series of perfect steps, each one wider than the last, until the flow spreads out into a vast, intricate, and vibrant bridal veil-like shape. Walk up the narrow trail, and the rhythm changes with each step. Cool sprays soothe your face, the ground shakes slightly underfoot, and the senses begin to fade. Touch becomes sound, sound becomes movement. Standing before Dingjandi, you can feel how power and elegance can coexist without contradiction. Water becomes architecture. Gravity becomes music. No wonder the locals call it the Pearl of the Westfjords. Behind the mist and thunder, the landscape changes again. The world decides to dream in color, the cliffs opening up to a vast expanse of red. Raudasandur stretches for miles, a beach painted in copper pink and rust. The sand shimmers in the weak Arctic sun, shifting from gold to crimson as the light moves across the sky. No two moments are exactly the same. From the deep blue cliffs behind to the white Atlantic waves ahead, every nuance feels exaggerated and stirring. On the windswept shores of Vatnsnes, a dark figure rises from the sea, a black monolith shaped by time and legend. This is Vitzakor, a giant 15-meter-high basalt monolith standing alone in the swirling tide. From a distance, it looks like a dragon bending down to drink, or a panting beast, a remnant of an undying legend. According to Viking legend, it was a troll struck by the sun while trying to throw rocks at a nearby monastery and turned to stone forever. The name means white shirt because the seabirds that nested on its back turned it a pale white, transforming the rock into a strange living creature. As night fell, the Arctic winds died down. Then the sky woke up. Emerald and purple streaks stretch across the sea, dancing across the sky in silent waves. The northern lights drape Vitzakor like a celestial crown, transforming the ancient rock into a guardian between worlds, earth, and sky, myth, and memory. Standing before it, you feel both awe and anxiety. It feels as if this landscape remembers things older than humanity itself. The further north you go, the more civilization fades until it stops altogether. Hornstrandia emerges from the mist like a fragment of a forgotten world, uninhabited since the 1950s, inaccessible by roads shaped only by wind and tide. Valleys stretch out to sea in shades of emerald and grey. Mountains tower with snow still clinging to their peaks, while the ocean laps at cliffs that seem to hold the memory of every storm that has ever passed. Amidst this solitude, a silent figure moves the Arctic fox. Iceland's only native mammal, it roams freely in this quiet sanctuary, its fur changing from white to silvery blue. Depending on the season. Watching a fox move is like catching a glimpse of a spirit emerging from the landscape itself. They hunt silently among the moss and snow, their eyes shining with intelligence and endurance. If you are lucky, you might see a fox cub small, curious, unaware of its own perfection, rolling around on the tundra in the endless summer daylight. Hornstrandia is not empty at that moment. It feels complete, as if every sound, every wind, every beat of the land is in harmony. No rush, no noise, no signals of the modern world. Finally, the wilderness gives way to another story. Sniffelness tells it all. Stretching out to sea, like a painter's brushstroke, the peninsula is Iceland, in miniature, a mosaic of volcanoes, glaciers, lava fields, beaches, and legends interwoven in light and shadow. At the northern bend, Kirkjufell rises a mountain whose shape is as perfect as a legend. Its curved peak towers into the sky, mirrored by the gentle Kirkjufellsfoss waterfall, with its three-tiered waterfall flowing in exquisite symmetry. Photographers call it the most beautiful mountain in the world, but beneath its perfection lies tragedy. The winds here can change direction unexpectedly, and each year, nature reminds us that beauty in Iceland is never harmless. In the middle of the peninsula stands the towering Snæfellsjökull volcano, the icy volcano that inspired Jules Verne's journey to the center of the Earth. The peaks shine like crystals in the Arctic sun, whispering of hidden worlds below. Locals speak of strange energies surrounding the mountain, a point of intersection between matter and spirit, between what we know and what we dare to imagine. On the green fields that stretch to the horizon, herds of Icelandic horses trot their manes, blowing in the wind, like living flames against the grey sky. They are neither wild nor completely tamed, simply living with humans companions of the earth. They are small but strong. Their deep eyes seem to contain the Arctic sky. Their four-beat gait makes them seem to glide over the ground. Scattered across the lava plains is the black church of Budia, majestic and simple against the pale sky. Its simplicity highlights everything around it: the texture of the moss, the curve of the clouds, the whisper of the wind on the stone. At Londrenar, two towering basalt towers rise from the sea like sentinels of an ancient kingdom. Legend has it that they are the ruins of a castle, built by elves, and only those with pure hearts can sense its presence. Whether myth or memory, the sense of wonder they evoke is real, one that lingers long after the waves have receded. And finally, a journey along the coast leads to Gatklatur in Anarstapi, a magnificent natural basalt arch carved by waves and time as a gateway between two worlds. At high tide, each wave passes through the stone, creating a sound like the breathing of the ancient ocean. From above Vatnajökull appears endless a shifting sea of white bending and cracking under its own ancient weight. Covering nearly 8% of Iceland, it is Europe's largest glacier, its icy heart older than any civilization has ever seen. Below the surface is a maze of caves with eerie-looking ice blocks carved by time, illuminated by light filtered through centuries of compacted snow. Not the pale blue of sky or sea, but something purer, born of pressure and silence. At the foot of the glacier is Jökulsárlón, a lagoon where the glacier melts into memory. Icebergs newly freed from the grip of the glacier drift across the black water, each one unique, shaped by wind salt and time. They crack, groan, and move slowly with the tide like creatures breathing in the cold. And then the current carries them to the shore, where they wash up on the volcanic sand, scattered like pearls on velvet. The black shore glittering with these ice fragments deserves the name Diamond Beach. The story of Laki begins violently. In the summer of 1783, the earth split open a 25-kilometer-long gash, and from it poured rivers of fire. For months, molten rock erupted from hundreds of fissures, swallowing farms, forests, and valleys. The air was filled with ash and poison. The sun faded. There was talk of the end of the world. Today, the scars of Laki are still visible. The craters stretch across the highlands like a chain of sleeping giants, rust-colored, silent, and strangely symmetrical. Walking among them feels like stepping into the aftermath of creation itself, and yet something miraculous has happened since then. From that ashes rose Eldrón, a vast lava field now covered in a thick layer of emerald moss. Soft as velvet, yet growing on molten rock, it symbolizes nature's silent defiance, a living testament to the return of life, despite the devastation. Moss covers every footstep-turning sound to silence, and for a moment, the memory of fire seems distant. But beneath the softness lies the sharp, jagged, resilient basalt, a reminder that peace in Iceland is always temporary, a breath between awakenings. Coming to Lan Manalaga feels like stepping into a dream carved by volcanic fire. Rhyolite peaks rise in waves of exotic colors. Tangerine ochre jade, lilac, the slopes glow softly under the drifting clouds. Each mountain range tells a different story: eruption, erosion, regeneration. The landscape looks alive, as if the earth has decided to paint itself. Warm water flows between these mountains. Geothermal spring pools accumulate in natural basins, steam curling into the cold air. Immersing yourself in that warmth, surrounded by a world that seems to be both fire and ice, feels like being suspended outside of time. Around you, the mirror-like lakes, Frostastavatn and Blahilur, reflect the seemingly endless sky. This place is both humbling and completely healing. A single drop of water becomes a roar. Skogafoss plunges 60 meters over a moss-covered cliff mist, rising like smoke from a hidden forge. When sunlight filters through, rainbows appear in the water, fleeting bridges between worlds. Legend has it that a Viking chest lies behind the waterfall, sealed in stone, protected by the sounds of eternity. The treasure may be myth, but standing under the waterfall, the sense of discovery is real. The path turns west, where the water doesn't just fall, it reveals itself. Seljalandsfoss lets you step behind the white curtain of water to see the world refracted through the drops. Thunder becomes rhythm, the air alive with movement. As dusk falls, light filters through the curtain like molten gold, transforming a simple waterfall into a living cathedral. The mystery becomes clear, again, columns of darkness giving shape to the light. From a distance, it looks like a monument built by the gods. Svartifoss cascades down through a chorus of hexagonal basalt columns, each one precise, symmetrical, taking on an impossible geometric shape. The stone glows black and bronze, creating a perfect contrast with the white water. These columns, formed by the cooling of ancient lava flows, have inspired Icelandic architects for generations, proof that nature often perfects a design before humans learn to imitate it. The wind never stops blowing along Rainy Sara. It blew across the Atlantic, carrying with it the hiss of black sand, volcanic glass sharp and glittering like shards of night. The beach stretched beneath hexagonal basalt cliffs, their perfect symmetry a frozen echo of the fire that had once been alive. Waves lapped against the shore, not in rhythm, but as a warning. Along the shore were the Hornstrandia pillars, shadows shaped from legend. Local tales told of giants caught at dawn, petrified as they dragged their stolen ships ashore. Believe it or not, there was something about this place that blurred the line between creation and curse. The sea was beautiful, but it never forgave. Every gust of wind, every tide carried the same quiet authority. A little further west, Derhole rises above the ocean, a rock arch carved by time. In summer, its cliffs become a city of wings. Puffins gather on the ledges, their orange beaks like lanterns in the mist. They dive into the waves, disappear, and then soar again, a cycle of belief and flight that seems older than memory. From land, Vestman Aar appears like a mirage, jagged peaks rising from the sea, shrouded in mist and myth. But the archipelago is no mirage. It is the result of the Earth reshaping itself right before our eyes. Every cliff, every slope was formed by eruption. Even the main island Henge was nearly obliterated by fire. In January 1973, the Eldfell volcano suddenly awoke. A fissure opened next to the sleeping town, sending streams of lava flowing toward the harbor. People fled in the darkness, their homes disappearing under a blanket of ash. But as the flames died down, they returned, rebuilding on land still warm to the touch. Some even harnessed the remaining heat, channeling it through pipes to heat their new homes. Destruction turned to renewal. Today, the cliffs of Henge are alive again, green and pulsing with life. Millions of seabirds nest among the rocks, their cries echoing in the mist. On these islands, life refuses to succumb, even to the memory of fire. As night falls in Icelandic winter, the sky seems to awaken. Bands of emerald and purple ripple across the black sky, moving as if the universe itself were breathing. The Northern Lights, nature's most elusive display, appears silently, yet touches the soul directly. Standing under that moving light, you feel something ancient, stirring a realization that you are seeing energy made present, chaos made beautiful. Some say the lights are the spirits of the dead, others call them the dance of the gods. Whatever the truth, few sights on Earth remind us so vividly that we live under a dynamic living sky. Beneath Iceland's vast glaciers, hidden worlds are born and die each year. As summer meltwater cuts through the ancient ice, it creates passages of incredible beauty, the ice caves, crystal tunnels of brilliant blue that no human hand could ever recreate. Step inside, and you'll feel like you're entering a cathedral built by silence. Light filters through the transparent ceiling, curving into deep shades of blue. The air is cold and clear, carrying the faint echo of dripping water, the slow pulse of a living, breathing glacier. Some caves sparkle like glass, others are dotted with black streaks of volcanic ash, a reminder of the fiery origins that shaped this icy kingdom. It's both fragile and eternal. The ice melts, but never truly dies. At first glance, Thingvellir looks like a quiet valley, a crack carved by time and patience. But beneath the silence lies the heartbeat of an entire people. Over 1,000 years ago, Iceland's first settlers gathered on this plain to talk, debate, and decide. But the magic of Thingvellir runs deeper than its history. The ground itself is splitting apart centimeter by centimeter as the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates drift apart. Standing in this crack is like standing between continents, between worlds. Silfra, a fissure in the earth, filled with glacial meltwater, so clear it seems invisible. Divers glide between the glassy stone walls, suspended between two plates of our planet. Not every place allows you to touch both history and geology in just one breath. Amidst the endless grasslands, Viking turf houses loom as if growing from the ground itself. Their walls are built of stone and peat. The roofs are covered with a thick layer of green grass blending with the color of the steppe and the sky. From afar, they look like winding mounds. Only when you get closer, you realize the small wooden doors, tiny window frames are shining warm light in the cold landscape. Each house is a work of adaptation, built semi-underground to keep warm in winter, cool in summer. Inside, the smell of pine wool and coal smoke blend together, evoking a feeling of a time long ago when people lived absolutely close to nature. Nearby, you can easily see flocks of Icelandic sheep grazing leisurely as if they were part of the architecture. Their opaque white fur stands out against the green grass and black rocks, creating an image that is both simple and poetic. The sound of sheep bleating echoes through the valley, mixed with the sound of the wind blowing through the grass, making the scene seem as if time has stopped. Between the fragile border of ice and sea, Reykjavik shines like a small flame in the Arctic. This capital city closest to the North Pole is not hurried, but slow, gentle as a breath in the frost. The colorful roofs reflect on the water of Faxaflói Bay, making the city look like a mosaic of winter and hope. Reykjavik lives by the energy of land and sea, but vibrates with the heart of people, where Nordic culture meets the Viking spirit and modern art flourishes in ancient nature. From afar, Hallgrímskirkja rises straight into the sky like a giant basalt pillar, a symbol of faith and aspiration to reach the light. And on the shore, Sun Voyager quietly points its bow towards the horizon, where the sun never sets. Some say it is not a ship of the past, but a dream that has not yet set sail. Down the street, just a few minutes' walk, is Lake Tjörnin, a calm mirror in the heart of the capital. Dominating the city is Reykjavik's iconic Lutheran church, standing majestically on Skólavörðuhead Hill with a shape that seems to be carved from lava itself. Basalt columns rising straight up to the sky, simulating the cooled lava flowing down from a volcano. The structure of the church is a fusion of nature and faith, a sacred mountain transformed into a man-made structure. But no matter how it is recreated, Lake Tjörnin is always alive. White swans, grey lag, geese mallards, and sometimes even northern gulls gather on the water unafraid of people. Leaving the city, the winding road leads to the Hokkadalure Valley, where the earth never sleeps. Geysir, the father of all geysers, gave the world its name, which millions still use today. Although Geysir itself has fallen silent, Strokkur nearby continues its mission, shooting boiling water into the sky, echoing the breathing of the planet. The moment before it erupts, the surface of the water curves into a dome of blue bubbles, looking as fragile as a mirror about to break. Then suddenly, the entire ground shakes slightly and the water bursts forth, swirling in white heat. The scene is so vibrant that the plovers flap their wings to avoid the rising steam, a small movement that gives the picture life and soul. The surrounding scene is a picture of fire and smoke, where the earth boils, the air smells of sulfur, and the wind rolls the hot steam into the cold sky. Each eruption of Strokkur is a reminder that the earth is still alive, that just beneath those tranquil grasslands lies a primordial power that never ceases. A cinematic journey through Iceland, exploring the contrast between fire and ice, the surreal beauty of the landscapes, the richness of culture and legends. What emotions linger in you? Leave your comments below about this unique land and join us on our next journeys. The largest country on Earth stretches across 11 time zones, touching both Europe and the Pacific. In Siberia, winters can plunge to 70 degrees, while in the south, summers climb above 100 degrees. It's a land of extremes. Few other places can imagine golden deserts surrounded by snow volcanoes, still alive with fire, and Lake Baikal, the deepest lake on the planet,